builds a house on the bridge. See, like suppose you are climbing a ladder and there is big queue behind you. They also have to climb. You go halfway and hold there. Jao bhai upar? No, I am thinking of staying here. It looks nice. No. Either you go to the other end or come down. You can't be halfway. We are all the way halfway. Living only in the mind without knowing what the mind is. So all the spiritual practices, whether it is karma or yoga or the devotion or the knowledge, all of them are working on the mind. See? And what is working on the mind? Working on the mind is very simple. Disturbed mind is a problem. Equanimous mind is the solution. See, one line definition. We are all miserable because our mind is all the time disturbed. And then what we do? We blame the world. And this is how we have the default settings in our system. So if I am a husband, the cause of my misery is my wife or somebody else's wife. See? If I am a father, the cause of my misery is my useless son. If I am a guru, the cause of my misery is my disciples. See, friends. And as a result, what happens? We want the world to change according to our need. This has never happened. We have to change ourselves. See, friends. Therefore, all that we have to work is on the mind. And the beautiful part, if you fall on the floor, whose help you take to get up on the floor? The same floor on which you have fallen, you take the help of the same floor and stand up. If you have fallen in the waters, you take the help of the same waters and swim out. In the same manner, if we are suffering because of the mind, we have to take help of the same mind and come out of the mind. This is the way. See, friends. And for that, we have to know the clear working of mind. You must have seen, many of us know only how to start the car and push the car and move it and stop it. What is below the bonnet, we don't know. One day I was in Delhi and we started my morning flight. So, 6:30 flight to Bombay. And I was staying for quite some distance. So my friend, I told him when we started early morning, 5 o'clock from the home, 4:30 rather. So when we say, hey, do you have sufficient petrol, diesel, whatever? Oh, Swamiji, yesterday I am fielding 1,000 rupees. I said, this is not the answer. My question is, do you have sufficient fuel? Swamiji, kali to dala hai. I said, okay, you are not answering my question, never mind. We went halfway and the car stopped. So what happened? Again it started. Again, what happened? I said, the last drop which was there, that is also gone. Now it cannot happen. Yesterday I put 1,000. I said again the same thing. You remove 1,000 from your head and put petrol there, it will be all right. And he says, Swamiji, probably you are right. Now I had to catch the flight, so I immediately came out of the car, started, and by God's grace, the first vehicle came and stopped. I could go. Swamiji, how it can happen? I said, don't go into how. It has happened, solve it. Then only we are walking the spiritual path. See? So when we open the bonnet, we don't know what is inside, then we start complaining. In the same manner, we function by the mind, but we don't know the working of the mind, how the mind works. Unless we know how the mind works, We will never be able to achieve perfection through the mind. We will be the victim of the same mind. See, friends. Therefore, here in this Upanishad, we start straight away working on the mind. No more beating around the bush. Like, in Bhagavad Gita we come across so many things. Look here, karmanye vadikaraste, mahaphaleshu kadachana, mahakarma. Aha. See? Nothing. Straight away work on the mind. Therefore, Upanishad is meant for those who have sufficiently withdrawn from the world. Those who are still hanging around the same thing. Wife is like that, children are like that. Go and finish yourself there. See? How long are we going to get worried and buried? In our Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, there is nobody worried there. You know why? Because they call wo as bo. Why are you worried? Come on, man, I am not worried, I am worried. See, therefore, let us understand very clear, this world has always been like this. There is nothing worth spending our time and energy on this world. We hear Bhagavad, we hear many scriptures, and what we learn? One story I'll tell you from Bhagavad, what we are supposed to learn. There was a great king called as Rishabh Dev. His son was Bharat, after whom India is named as Bharat. Now this Rishabh Dev, he ruled the earth for 10,000 years. And after that, he handed over the kingdom to his son and went for Vanaprastha in the forest for doing tapasya, etc. Now the moral of the story, it's a cock and bull story. Who can live for 10,000 years? Then we are intellectuals. Who is intelligent? Intelligent one is the one. Even if you are the king of the whole world, not for one term of election, but for continuously 10,000 years, yet you can never develop and find fulfillment in your life from the extrovertedness. This is the meaning. But instead of learning this thing from the scriptures, we go and say, oh, our scriptures are great. Are we giving certificate to them or what? We have to learn. And therefore, here the teacher tells us that mind is the problem and mind is the solution. So before we work on this problem or solution aspect, let us find out exactly what the mind is. See, normally mind is spoken of as mind is a flow of thoughts. This is not complete definition. Mind is not a flow of thoughts. Like flow of water is not a river. Flow of water can come also in your tap for some time. So do we say, "Arey, nadi aa gayi kya?" We don't say. Flow of thoughts cannot be the mind. Then what is the mind? Mind is an interaction between the I thought versus the not I thought. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi speaks about it. Manasam tu kim margane krute naiva manasam marga arjavat. And then there are two types of thoughts. One type of thoughts is the idam vritti, the objective aspect. Second is the subjective aspect, aham vritti. And the interaction between aham and idam vritti is called as the mind. If there are no objective thoughts, mind, subjective thought has no place. If there is no subjective I thought, there is no value for the objective thoughts. Therefore, mind has to be recognized in a right manner. Otherwise, we'll only struggle for controlling the mind. Chitta vritti, nirodha, yoga, and go on controlling and bite your teeth, put your board outside, meditation in progress, take a detour, and suffer silently in darkness. Most of the meditations are these cartoons only. First thing, they'll be putting a board outside. If you are late by 1 minute, please don't enter. And then inside, when the Babaji sits here, switch off the lights. One person asked me, Swamiji, I go for such and such meditation and they switch off the lights. Why don't you switch off the lights? I said, you ask them. I don't know why they switch off the lights. Then why don't I switch off light? Because in darkness, bad things are done. Good things are not done in darkness. Is meditation a bad thing? Theft is conducted in darkness. See, are we stealing somebody's heart? No. See, then why they must be switching off the light? Maybe the students also can sleep, the teacher also can sleep. And after the meditation is over, everybody is awakened. Oh, it is so freshening. Naturally, after sleep you will fresh. See, that is not meditation. Chitta vritti nirodha is impossible. See, friends, those who are practicing, they know how much they are suffering. And therefore they come out of the meditation and become perverted personalities. Our struggle to control the mind thoughts is something like, on the flowing Ganges. I am coming from Varanasi. So beautiful. So the Ganges are flowing. You take a stick and with the stick on the flowing waters you write Sri Rama. Can you see that? Arey, abhi to likha tha. It can never be written. You will spend your whole life in the same manner till such time we do not know the working of the mind. You may start applying the curfew of pranayam. Pranabandhanat liyate manaha. As long as the curfew of pranayam is operating, till then the mind will remain quiet. The moment the curfew is lifted, it comes out with a vengeance. See, friends, it cannot be the control of mind. Therefore, we have to know clearly exactly what exactly mind means. One person in BITS Pilani asked me this question. Swamiji, where is the mind? I said, whose? Because mind must belong to somebody. Of course, I want to ask about my mind. I said, you should know it. How could I know? You don't understand. I said, really, I don't understand. How will I know your mind where it is? No, exactly where the mind is. I said, okay. Now you don't reply my question, but reply them in your mind and finally you give me the answer. So I asked him, 2 plus 2. I said, don't talk. Keep it in your mind. 2 plus 2. 4 plus 4. 8 minus 8. How much? 6. I said, I cannot talk to you. He who cannot do this much of calculations, to him what can you talk? See. Now, where did you do these calculations? There the mind is. See, friends. Now, about this mind, we do not know where the mind is. About the mind, we do not know what is the operation of the mind. About the mind, we do not know to whom the thoughts are coming. And we want to control the mind, and therefore we become miserable. Therefore, we have to work on the mind. We have to know clearly the functioning of the mind, and therefore the teacher begins about talking about the mind by the mind. So, manohi dvividham proktam. Mind is of 2 kinds. Dvividham, vida, types. First is shuddham cha ashuddham eva cha. One is the pure mind and second is the impure mind. Now what is the pure and impure mind? Ashuddham kama sankalpam. That mind which is carrying the load of kama and the sankalpa. See, 2 aspects. Kama is the desire, sankalpa is the projection about an object. And shuddham kama vivarjitam. And pure mind is the one where there are no loads of desire on the mind. Now here is the most important thing to be understood about the mind. Now, what the teacher says about the mind is this. If we look in our life, what we have done in our whole life is only one thing. We have been fulfilling our desires right from day one till date. Balastavat kridasaktaha, tarunastavat taruniraktaha, vruddhastavat chintasaktaha, parame brahmani kopina raktaha, bhaja govindam. So if we have to write our autobiography in one line, what we will say that I have been fulfilling the desires of my life. Have you completed the fulfillment of your desires? See? No, my granddaughter is born. She is hardly 6 months. The only desire is when her granddaughter will get married, I will like to see that marriage. See, there is no end to the desires. See, friends. And what we have been doing only this. Why? Because, be very attentive, because we have lived like a Dumbo. An intelligent person learns from his own experiences in life. See, if we don't learn from the experiences of our life, we gather impressions on our mind. And these impressions become a load. The expressions of the inherent impressions on the mind is called as desire. There are two types of inherent impressions on our mind. One type of impression is called as likes, raga. The other type of impression is called as dvesha or the dislike. And our total life is lived only under the influence of the likes and dislikes, nothing else. See, you ask a child, hey, come on, take milk. I don't like milk. What do you like? I like coffee. Now you ask him why he doesn't like milk. I don't know. You ask him why he likes coffee. I don't know. Now observe this. Can we give any reason for our likes and dislikes? There is no reason. I went to somebody's house and only husband and wife, married for 2-3 years. And when I went and sat in the drawing room and saw around, the house was looking like, in the Mohenjo-daro time. No whitewash, no, ekdam. Walls were thinking, pata nahi mera uddhar kab hoga, like that, So when I saw around and I took newspaper and reading. So that lady came, Swamiji, we have noticed what you have noticed. I said, okay, give me a notice then. You know why we have not painted our house? I said, that is your problem. I have no problem. I am going to go away from here. I like light cream color. And he likes light pink. So I want to have light cream. And he wants to have light pink. And we have decided in our life, unless we agree on an issue, we will not do it. So on this issue, we are not able to agree. I said, a very simple man, I will solve your problem. What is that? Why don't you paint it blood red? What? I said, wait a minute. Do you like it? No, I don't like it. Do you like it? No, I don't. See, you agreed. Lagao. Now, what is the logic? That I like this color and I don't like this color. There is no logic behind it. Now see this principle. Our whole life is guided by only the likes and dislikes. And there is no reason, there is no logic behind it. And we consider ourselves to be intelligent and people with reason. And what is the reason behind this? There is no reason. See, friends, when these likes and dislikes overpower us, that overpowering effect of a like and a dislike is called as desire. See? Desire is not something like a laddu in the hand. Now, this is first principle to be clearly understood. Before we go to sleep, we may have likes and dislikes about the bed and about everything. But once we sleep, all the desires are quieted. There is no like and no dislike. Thereafter, if somebody has taken away the blanket and put some old kind of rag on you, it doesn't make any difference. See, so what is the real problem of our life? The real problem of our life is likes and dislikes and their expressions called as desire. Both are called as desires. When I like something, I will run towards that. When I dislike something, I run away from that. The net result is my whole life is run or run. Either run away or run towards. And then, I am damn tired. I want to take VRS. And after you take VRS, what will you do? Your people at home will be tired. Oh God. See? Then the ladies in the house, they have to tell, why don't you go for a morning walk? Means what? At least that time there will be peace in the house. Those houses where gents are all the time in the house, you ask those ladies, you ask them, what is hell? Our house. 24 hours in the house, constantly. Ram, 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 get out of the house. See, therefore, it is necessary that you first of all understand that we are functioning under the influence of the likes and dislikes, or we are free from the influence of the likes and dislikes. So what is the meaning of now working on the mind? See, friends, working on the mind is conquering the influence of likes and dislikes. This is important. We all take care of our gross body. You know, in Gujarat, there is no gross body, gross body. So we take care of our gross body. We take care of our digestion, our figure, our houses, our clothes, everything we take care of. But what we have really done for taking care of our own mind? See, friends, because there are thoughts in the mind, that does not mean we are thinkers. See, friends, therefore one has to be very cautious. When we are living in this world, there are three places where our attention can be focused. First is the world. Second is the mind, the instrument through which we are functioning and coming in contact with the world. And the third is the I, who is coming in contact with the world. So when I am functioning in this world, giving to you a talk, now where is my attention? If my attention is on you, I will never be happy in life. Why? I will be struggling that you should understand and change. This has never happened. Net result will be, I will be miserable. See, I have been giving talks, but nobody gets improved. It is your fault. Why do you expect anything from the world? See, the second place where our attention goes is on ourselves. I am so good. I wake up early in the morning, 5 o'clock, and again go to sleep. Do you know, I am not like others. See, you only told you should wake up in the morning. You never said again continue. So again I sleep. Goody, 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 goody. See? And a third place where our attention should be on the mind. Before I get into any job, what is the quality of the mind? During the performance of the act, what is the quality of the mind? After the job is done, what is the quality of the mind? If in all the three places our mind remains immaculate, clear, clean, like a mirror, then we are the spiritual seekers. Anything that we do in the world, we gather dents. We gather impressions on the mind. And impressions are only of two types. There is no third type of impression. One impression is likes, other impression is dislike. And likes and dislikes become the only thing in our life. And slowly, these likes and dislikes impression, they start first only small lines, hair lines, then they start becoming thick lines, then they start becoming deep lines, then they start becoming furrows, then they become valleys. And as the age grows, our life is a perfect examples of obsession about everything. Because the likes and dislikes have become so deep that is our character. I don't like this thing. I like this thing. See? And then we imagine fulfilling our personal likes and dislikes. That is called as the real life. And therefore, the more the options and choices are given to us, we consider that is the prosperous society where more options are there. And more the options we give, more miserable we are. Lesser the options we give, less miserable we are. Don't give any option, you are happiest. See, choiceless existence is the only happiness in life. See, friends, therefore, working on the mind is to begin from. The mind is of two types. One is impure and second is pure. Now the pure mind is kama sankalpa. That mind which is carrying the load of the desires and the sankalpa. So what is the desire we have understood? Desire is an expression of inherent impressions called as likes and dislikes gathered by us in the course of our life. Those expressions are called as desires. If we want to conquer the desires, what we have to do? Ride above the personal likes and dislikes. How do we ride above the personal likes and dislikes? Things are to be done not because we like or we don't like. Things are to be done because they are ought to be done or ought to be not done. See? It's so simple. Don't give yourself a single choice. You will be the happiest person in life. The moment you give a choice, misery begins. Even single thing. See? Therefore, it is extremely necessary that when we are functioning in the world, our attention should be focused not on the world, not on I, but on the mind and its quality. And the quality of the mind is determined by the habit that we have given to our mind. And what is the habit? Habit is honoring, respecting, and pampering our personal likes and dislikes. That we have to get out of it. See, therefore, friends, spiritual life is not only reading books, taking the mala in the hand, and giving certificate to Bhagavan Krishna. Come on, man, you did a good job in Gita. No. It must become part and parcel of our life, and for that, correct understanding is required. And understanding about the mind first. See, in the earlier days, the barber used to go from house to house with their, bag and the razor. So, he used to be extremely careful about his razor because he has to use it. Every now and then, and again he will do like this thing. See? One barber, a shop he opened, and Sunday, 2-3 customers were on 3-4 chairs. He has put whitewash and everybody, now nobody can go. Then he is doing, this is the technique, you don't know. So they are all booked now. They can't go like this outside. And then he will take his own time and do one by one. He will do his half and leave him there. So his son came and he said, Dad, may I try? Yes, beta, you can try. Ultimately, you have to learn this only. This is our family tradition business. You have to do this thing. And then he takes the, beta, be careful. This is your first day. Don't cut your hand, okay? And the customer is listening. His jugular vein is in his hands. And instructions, don't cut your hand. If you have to cut, tishik. So the barber has to keep his razor perfect. Then only he can function. What is that instrument by which we come in contact with the world? Not the body, not the sense organs, but the mind. How much time, efforts we have taken to take care of our mind? Think, friends. Never, never. We have taken the mind for granted. We have to work on that mind. When you start working on the mind, then you will understand what is the meaning of being other than the mind. See, it is something like this. When somebody has a problem, we go there as a friend, and what do we talk? We talk all the wisdom in the whole world. When the same problem comes in our life, we are completely nonplussed. What is the reason? The reason is, when somebody has a problem, you can stand outside the problem and look at the problem. You are wise. Exactly the same way, when we are able to stand outside the mind, then you can discover the solution for your own mind's problems. See, as long as we are living with the conditioning of the mind, we will never be able to understand what is the problem of the mind. We will be carried away by that. It is something like this. You are sitting in the car, and when you sit in the car moves. When the car moves, the road moves in the opposite direction. And then you start worrying, but why the road is moving in the opposite direction and my car is stationary? Actually, I started the car should move. You will keep on seeing this till you are conditioned by the moving car. In the same manner, till we are conditioned by the mind, we will never be able to solve the problems related to the mind. See, friends, the other day somebody asked me in some of the countries, I had my lectures. So after my lecture, one lady came. Swamiji, I am Dr. So-and-so and I am a psychiatrist. What you told today in the lecture was the same thing what we do with our patients. What is the difference between you and me? I said, the first difference is I got a beard, you don't have. The second difference is, longer the beard, more established is the wisdom. Shorter the beard, doubtful is the wisdom. No beard, no wisdom, all foolishness. And then, third, you make your patients talk and you don't listen. and yet you get $65 per hour. Here, I talk, nobody listens, and I get nothing. This is the difference between you and me. You talk only to the people who are having problems. We talk to the people and create problems. See, friends, working on the mind by the psychiatrist, they take the patient to be an unhealthy one. When we talk to the people, we don't take the people as unhealthy. We say, Amrutasya putraha, you have the potentiality to explore all your dormant potentiality to come to the Godhood. This is the basic difference. So we have to discover. Discover means it is already there. You have to simply uncover it. The truth is revealed. See, friends. And then a psychiatrist never cures a patient. He maintains it. Otherwise, he will become a patient. There were two psychiatrists. And when they retired from their job, one of them became a patient, other did not. So the one who became a patient, he asked, hey, come on, we both had the same profession. We both were listening to the same kind of patients. How come I became patient, you did not become? He said, who was listening? The patients were talking, but I was never listening. I was reading my books. In between. You don't have to listen. So, the same technique we apply in satsang. And therefore, asangoham, asangoham, asangoham punah punaha, we become a challenge to the Mahatmas. Come on, so many have come and gone, try on me, establish. See, friends, to work on the mind is to work on the spiritual path. And what is that? Equanimity of the mind has to be maintained. To maintain the equanimity of the mind, we must know the working of the mind. And what is the unhealthy aspect?